audience.
All right. The we in the verse is for those who love the Lord, and this verse only applies to true believers. The world does not understand, and to them it is foolishness.
Okay.
I also learned that this is our family secret, we know. And also the Greek word for know is from which our English word we know comes from means fact. We don't think, we don't hope, we know for a fact that all things work together for good to those who love God and to those who are the called according to his purpose.
Now, the family secret is what? What's the C, the first C?
Confidential.
Confidential. Confidential.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Great job, guys. All right, second group.
Okay, so the second family secret is constructive, which means that kind of like builds and like helps you build through things with life, and it goes with how a lot of like bad things may happen. Like people have a lot of like financial problems or like medical problems and just like a lot of like struggles they go through. And the thing that you have to take out of it is that you have to like trust God and believe that no matter what happens, something good is gonna happen out of it. And I know that at least for me, like when I went to the doctor for my knee, like they said I might like be out for a long time or I might not. And I was like really worried because, you know, gymnastics is like a really big thing for me. And so to be able to think that I might not be able to do it was like really heartbreaking. And it was just like when they told me I had to stop and it was like I had surgery, it just like messed up my whole flow because I felt like I was actually like getting somewhere and like doing really good, and then when it like just stopped, it like really hurt me. And I had to think of it like something good was gonna come out of it. And so now I have to trust and believe that even though like it stopped, but I'm still trying and there's something better out of it that I know is coming.
Yeah.
And I was going to add that it says that King David also realized how important this was, and he like wrote down these words, and he said that Psalms 119:71, "It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I may learn your statutes." So we have to believe and trust that everything's going to
Great sound
Mine is comprehensive. The family secret is comprehensive. And we know that all Romans 8:28, and we know all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. For all things that work for good. The Bible says all things, not many things, not some things, or even not even most things. It means all things, not it may include that things seem to be unfair. For example, when Joseph sold into slavery by his brother. It might be included difficult things. Some disciples and apostles were stoned, beaten, and incarcerated during the misery careers. Important concept here is all things work together for good. And the ingredients in cookies and cake by themselves do not taste good, but when mixed together they are tasty. God works out the good and not so good things in our lives for our good is his glory. This means that he gets the credit all as he works behind the scenes to make things work out for good for us.
Amen. So the family secret is comprehensive. Hey, good job.
Okay, so mine was the family secret is conditional, which means like it doesn't apply to all, but only those who love the Lord unconditionally. And like it said in the thing that there's a poll taken and for people to recite Romans 8:28, and people only knew like the first half of it, all things were good together, but then they forget the last part, to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. And then these blessings only apply to those who love God. God is aware of everything happening in our lives, and he has a way of turning bad things into good.
Wow. That is excellent. Do you all have any questions for them? No questions? Nobody?
You did that good.
Yeah, they did really
Yeah.
good. You guys are awesome. You can come sit down now. And things work together for good. So if it is confidential, we know it's fact, it's in the Bible, it's God-inspired word, and we know. You start from there. We know. Non-believers don't know. They question. They look for their esteem and other people or other events. And Taina's testimony about her knee and surgery and all of that things, and it messed up her flow a little bit. That was a great testimony. That was a great testimony because we can say we know things are going well, but what if something happens and things aren't going so well? How are you going to respond to it? That's a critical question. That is a critical question. Jada, would you put your phone away, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. The family secret is constructive. Things work together for good. When you're going through a tough time, Taina, when you were going through a tough time, did you think it was for your good?
At that time, I was like questioning it, like why is it happening? But as time went on, I realized that it was supposed to happen, so I had to just.
That's
know it.
wisdom. That is wisdom. Does anybody else have an example? When things look kind of bad, but you, as a Christian, are saying it's for my good? Can you think of anything else? Ladies, can you think of any other experience? Corey, you're really shy. Look at this actor. So don't call on me. Okay, I'll stay over here for the seniors and veterans. Any experience can you think of? What about sports? What about cheerleading? What about those things? What about karate? No, what about it? What about it? There's a testimony there somewhere. I know when I was a cheerleader, I went up on the trampoline and I went down and messed up my knee, and that was like it for me. Yeah, it was it for me because they said I couldn't do that anymore, and I love gymnastics and stuff. And I was asking, what is this about? Not that I was looking for an athletic scholarship, but it was something I loved to do. It was my identity. And so, as with anything else, things that you love to do and you feel like it's taken away from you, what do you do after that? What do you do? Oh, okay. Gabby, you got anything you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I've never really had an experience like that yet. So.
Okay, that's good. Live long enough. Oh, comprehensive, work together for my good. The one thing I noticed is that when you guys went through the exercise, you were all in sync, right? Everybody did it. There was no touching. You received instructions. All right, put that to life. Put that to life. Put that to your words. Put that to your life experience. Work together for good. If you've lost someone in your family or you can't do anything anymore, how do you respond to that? You have to know that God is in the details, no matter how horrible it feels at the time. When the international students come, and you're going to hear some horror stories about some things, that happened to them and they survived, you're going to wonder, well, what? How good is it for life in the U.S.? Because there are people who are really going through some terrible things right now. And then conditional. It's for believers. To those who, what? Who what? Who love God. And those who are called what? What team? Called according to his purpose. Don't miss that. It's not for unbelievers, it's for believers to know and to understand that it's good. For those who are called, it's the family secret. It's not those who are outside and they worship other gods. We worship a God who died for us. And so never, ever forget that. You're called according to his purpose. So you might go on one path, you say, I just want to have fun. I don't need to study. This is hard. She doesn't like me. She broke up with me. He doesn't like me. Called according to God's purpose. And that makes a difference. Ladies, you did a great job. You did an excellent job. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Corey actually has some drawings out in the narthex, so stop by and see those drawings afterwards, and we have cake for the legacy team. But before we dismiss, let's look at this song again. Well, the song that was up there. All things work together. Let me see if you guys can sing it.